Item 620. Electrical conductors. 1. Description. Furnish and install electrical conductors, except conductors specifically covered by other items. 2. Materials. Provide new materials that comply with the details shown on the plans and the requirements of this item. Use stranded insulated conductors that are rated for 600 volts, approved for wet locations, and marked in accordance with all NEC and CSA requirements. Furnish electrical conductors in accordance with DMS 11040, electrical conductors. Provide pre-qualified electrical conductors from the department's MPL. When required by the engineer, notify the department in writing of selected materials from the MPL intended for use on each project. Ensure all grounding conductors size 8 AWG and larger are stranded, except for the grounding electrode conductor at the electrical service, which will be a solid conductor. Use white insulation for grounded, neutral, conductors, except grounded conductors size 4 AWG and larger may be black with white tape marking at every accessible location. Do not use white insulation or marking for any other conductor except control wiring specifically shown on the plans. Ensure insulated grounding conductors are green except insulated grounding conductors size 4 AWG and larger may be black with green tape marking at every accessible location. Do not use green insulation or marking for any other conductor except control wiring specifically shown on the plans. 3. Construction. Perform work in accordance with the details shown on the plans and the requirements of this item. Splice conductors only in junction boxes, ground boxes, and transformer bases, and in poles and structures at the hand holes. Splice as shown on the plans. Do not exceed the manufacturer's recommended pulling tension. Use lubricant as recommended by the manufacturer. Install conductors in accordance with the NEC. Make insulation resistance tests on the conductors before making final connections, and ensure each continuous run of insulated conductor has a minimum DC resistance of 5 megohms when tested at 1000 volts DC. The engineer may require verification testing of all or part of the conductor system. The engineer will witness these verification tests. Replace conductors exhibiting an insulation resistance of less than 5 megohms at no additional cost to the department. 4. Measurement. This item will be measured by the foot of each single conductor. This is a plan's quantity measurement item. The quantity to be paid is the quantity shown in the proposal, unless modified by Article 9.2, Plan's quantity measurement. Additional measurements or calculations will be made if adjustments of quantities are required. 5. Payment. The work performed and materials furnished in accordance with this item and measured as provided under measurement will be paid for at the unit price bid for electrical conductors of the types and sizes specified. This price is full compensation for furnishing, installing, and testing electrical conductors, furnishing and installing breakaway connectors, and for materials, equipment, labor, tools, and incidentals, except conductors used in connecting the components of electrical services will be paid for under Item 628, Electrical Services. Conductors inside roadway illumination assemblies will be paid for under Item 610, Roadway Illumination Assemblies. Conductors inside of traffic signal pole assemblies will be paid for under this item, and conductors used for internal wiring of equipment will not be paid for directly but will be subsidiary to pertinent items.